What's up, people? This is Nature Girl 30 here, and these happen to be this is pretty much my review for TLC for tonight. I honestly didn't think I was going to watch TLC. I didn't think it had a really good build for most of the feuds, for anything that was going on, and I really didn't think I would enjoy it. But I have to say that I was really pleasantly surprised with TLC itself. I really was. It had a lot of good backstage segments and a lot of backstage interviews that led into other things in the night, which I really do think fused the entire event together. I liked the whole 3 and B feud a little bit. I kind of enjoyed it a little bit. I love The Miz. Anything that has The Miz in it, I'm sorry. And I'm not even a person that marks out, but I will mark out for The Miz. Because The Miz literally is a face with attitude. That is what is needed now in the PG era, is a face with attitude. He literally brought together the entire, brought together a whole new match for tonight. But the biggest shocker of them all is Alberto Del Rio turning face. And I think this is probably something a lot of people are going to talk about, because I was extremely shocked to see Alberto Del Rio do a face turn. I'm hoping that this is not something that he is planning on sticking to. I'm hoping that he will actually kind of reveal himself and will actually explain his actions on SmackDown, because Alberto Del Rio, no, I don't know. No. His character is much better as a heel. The way that he has his riches and everything, his cars, his expense, everything, he is a rich jerk. That is what he's supposed to be. He has money. He's supposed to be portrayed as a rich jerk, just like JBL is portrayed as a rich jerk. So it wouldn't make any sense for him to turn face unless the guy is giving all his money to charities. But or it just wouldn't fit with the character if they make him the face. So I'm hoping that he just explains himself. He explains himself on SmackDown and just, be like, okay, well, this is my reason. I hope they do that on SmackDown. But gosh, does Vince McMahon have an issue with Mexicans or an issue with Latinos? Because it never fails. Excuse me. The Spanish announcement table is always being pile drive through. Like with no end. Seriously, they are demolishing that table pretty much every pay-per-view I've seen. I'm like, does he not like Latinos or something, or does he have something against the Spanish announcer table? I don't know. But my other big shocker of the night was something I really didn't expect, and it was for the battle royal for the beginning of the entire show. I have to say that I really never anticipated Naomi, of all people, Naomi, to actually win the Divas Battle Royal. Never expected it at all. Never. I was like, okay, you pick Naomi over Caitlyn. Yeah. And it's not the fact that Naomi don't have skills. I was shocked at her skills tonight. She outshined Eve. She really did. And the thing is that, yeah, it wouldn't make any sense for her to actually be a Divas champion right away, but let's face it, the Divas division itself is hurting so bad. They need something fresh and new to actually keep it going. So put some kind of sustenance injected into the Divas division. So in a way, it will really benefit them more to have somebody different holding the belt instead of Eve. But unfortunately, Eve still won, and I don't care what anybody says. Eve is doing something behind the scenes. Seriously, she's doing something behind the scenes. I'm not insinuating it's going to be something sexual or anything. I don't know. I'm not insinuating that, but I know she's doing something. She's doing something to keep her game up. But either or, she ended up winning. But I was really surprised with Naomi. I'm hoping that they will actually allow her to wrestle a lot more and put her in a decent match, or maybe have a feud with Cameron and possibly see what Cameron's skills are, if she has any. But either or, it makes me think that seeing Naomi wrestle, or Cameron, I don't know, I didn't see her wrestle at all, but if she was in the Battle Royale, please leave a comment in the comment section below. But either or, if they're wrestling, that means they're doing something with Brodus Clay. Like, Brodus Clay is either leaving, or the fact is that, or something's going to happen to Brodus Clay. So seeing Naomi wrestle lets me know this. Okay, something's going to happen to Brodus Clay. I don't know. We'll find out on Raw. But the biggest main event of the night, I have to straight up say TLC's match, the tables, ladders, and chairs match itself, with Ryback and Team Hell No versus The Shield. I never expected this to be probably the best TLC match I have seen this year. Straight up. like I'm not gonna say it's the best of all time, but I'm gonna say this is the best match I have seen this year. TLC, that is. I never expected it to be like that. I expected it to be mediocre and boring, but oh my gosh. The things they did with those tables, the fact that you literally believe that Seth Rollins, either it was Seth Rollins or Roman Reigns, that actually got taken through 2 sets of tables and it didn't break. It hit his neck and it looked like it didn't break. He probably has a serious concussion. But either or, that was probably the most brutal TLC match that I have seen since the last TLC match at WrestleMania, about maybe a few years back. But for real, I was highly impressed and very, very, very excited about that match. Best match of the night. Seriously. Like, hands down, that was my main event. But moving on to the other matches, I did not really care much for the U.S. title match. I'm sad about that. I love R-Truth, but Antonio Cesaro is going to hold that belt for a while. I really do feel that it would have benefited R-Truth more to actually have the belt then, or maybe at another big pay-per-view, but I don't know. That's just really sad to me. But I really didn't care much for it because the feud was just built so little. You didn't really put a lot of effort into it because it was so little. It wasn't a huge build. So you really didn't care for the match at all. But with the IC Championship match, I was really disappointed because Wade Barrett he could be the most dominant champion, but they have never given him a chance. And when they were going to give him a chance, he ended up getting injured. I'm like, can you please give him a belt or something? Sure, the IC Championship belt will be kind of a downgrade for Wade Barrett because he needs to be in the championship title picture. But Kofi Kingston, honestly, I think it would have benefited Kofi Kingston's career because it would have gave him a little kick in the pants for him to be a little bit more aggressive when it comes to his actual performances. He has great in-ring performance. He has great chemistry when it comes to his tag teams, but he has no aggression. I'm sorry, he's not aggressive enough. And he's high flying, he's stylish, he does all these things, he does a flash and all that other stuff. But there's really nothing aggressive. There's nothing about Kofi Kingston. And just like Randy Orton, the feud that he had with Randy Orton put some kind of fire in him that made him aggressive, that he was an aggressive face. And that's what I loved about Kofi Kingston at that time. But he was just so, boom, boom, boom. You know, come on, get a little bit of flavor, man. I mean, come on. Put some little jerk in your twerk move somehow. No, but either or, I was disappointed to see that the Bear Barrage once again was bested by Kofi Kingston. But oh well, what are you gonna expect about that? Moving on to the World Heavyweight Championship match, the biggest disappointment I've ever seen of the night. They had so much build. They had so much flavor, so much emotion behind this feud, and it just fell flat. I'm not saying that the match was terrible. The fact that they had the BFC, yeah, the big freaking chair, I know they had that. Don't get me wrong. But it just fell flat for me because it should have been one brutal match. Like, it should have just went right and left, complete brutal, just carnage. But it just wasn't like that. It was kind of docile. It was kind of pulled back. Like, they were holding back on that. And I'm like, you should have just unleashed everything into that match. Because they put so much effort into it. They should have unleashed everything. And should have just made it like a no-holds-barred, just battle, beat until you bleed kind of match. But it just, I guess it fell flat. I don't know, compared to the probably because maybe the TLC match was in the middle and it was so spectacular that you were kind of emotionally drained going into the World Heavyweight Championship match. Just like how it was with the Streak and Chris Jericho's match with CM Punk at WrestleMania 28. That was pretty much the same scenario how it happened there, and that's probably the reason why I didn't really care much for that match. It wasn't the fact that the match was bad. It wasn't the fact that the match didn't have a lot of edge to it. It was the fact that the TLC match was so spectacular that you end up seeing this World Heavyweight Championship match that had a decent build, but in the end, it fell flat in your eyes because you were completely drained by the last match that happened before. So, you know, it's not his fault, it just happened. But as for the Divas division match, the Divas match with Eve versus Naomi, I really didn't expect Naomi to win. Even though Naomi pretty much outshined Eve, and she should have been champion, but she was robbed, like I said before. But moving on from there, I have to honestly say that I really didn't give a crap about John Cena versus Ziggler. I didn't. I'm sorry. Because I read it. Like, you can literally look at that match and predict what's going to happen. Like, every single time that they were going to do something, you knew what was going to happen. You just knew it. And I was smelling a long way away. AJ was going to go crazy and literally do something to turn heel again. And I'm like, I was waiting for that moment. I'm like, okay, where's AJ? Where's what's her face? Come on out, Vicky. Like, I was waiting for them to come out, and I kind of predicted it, and that's what I don't like about my matches. I want my matches to be the point where I'm surprised. I don't like to know stuff, and I kind of went into that whole match knowing what was gonna happen. It was kind of disappointing, but I have to say that, we're going to probably hear something about John Cena and AJ turning on him and, hey, how you broke my heart or something like that. And, I mean, the thing about it is I smelled it a mile away. And especially the fact that Dolph Ziggler freaking wore a foreshadowing on his shirt. I steal the show and your girlfriend. Hello. Foreshadowing. But either or, I didn't care much for that match. I didn't give a crap who won. And we all knew that the Money in the Bank briefcase was going to go back to Dolph Ziggler. But everyone's biggest fear was the fact that John Cena was going to win. And somehow it was going to be Rock and Cena too. But I'm happy that that's not going to happen. At least we hope not. But as for the 3MB versus the 3MB match versus The Miz, and they had the Brooklyn Brawler, no doubt. And I kind of knew the Brooklyn Brawler was going to be there because they were in Brooklyn, which was a really good choice. I knew they were going to win because he had a freaking legend on your team. When you know, and this is something that's supposed to be foreshadowing for every YWC or IWC or any kind of fan out there that has seen enough of these matches to know. When you see a legend on your team or a legend coming out, you know that the legend that's going to be on that person's team, whether it's the heels or the faces, are going to win. That's it, hands down. So was the match bad? No. Did I predict it? Yes. Is that bad? Yes, because I like to be surprised, but it's the freaking Brooklyn Brawler. What are you going to expect? But all in all, excuse me, I have terrible allergies. But all in all, I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised about this pay-per-view. I really was. I wouldn't buy it. I would not buy this pay-per-view if anybody paid me to. Well, if somebody paid me to, that would pretty much I would pretty much buy it because somebody paid me to. But either or, I would not buy it on my own. I would either rent it or stream it. That's what I did. I streamed it. So the matches themselves were not all that bad. They put a unique spin on the back, or they put a unique spin out there for the interviews and everything. They actually did add more interviews in there. They actually did add a little bit more build. Not to mention that the fact they actually kind of used the Miz as a transition towards another match they're gonna have to fill in the night, which wasn't so bad. But then also, the TLC match was probably one of the best TLC matches I've seen this year. Seriously. It was. But, and I have to say I really did enjoy myself watching it. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. What do you guys think about the TLC pay-per-view? Did you buy it? Did you stream it? Let me know how you feel about this. Leave your comments in the comment section below or send me a video response. I'm all up for video responses, and I actually do try to watch them when I have time. But honestly, I really do want to hear what you guys have to say about this, because I'm going to be real. I was pleasantly surprised with this pay-per-view, and I like surprises, and I like being wrong sometimes. But this is Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.